Look at your neighbor real quick and say, neighbor, I see you in the future, and you look much better than you do right now. I don't think you believe that this morning. Say, neighbor, I see you in the future, and you look much better than you do right now. Because I see you like God sees you. I see you delivered. I see you set free. I couldn't understand how this man who had never seen a man, who had never seen a tree, could identify with a tree, could identify with a man. What God is simply saying is what I'm getting ready to do for you. Eyes have not seen, and ears haven't heard, nor has it entered to the hearts of men the things that God has in store for you. And so when folk look at you and you tell them, I'm coming out more than a conqueror, they'll look at you crazy, but you'll look back and laugh and say, eyes have not seen, nor ears have heard. So you'll get excited because you see what God has for you. And so you would be able to walk around with confidence. God told me to tell you today that when you relocate this time, don't go back to what you used to do. Don't go back to the things you used to say. Don't go back to the friends you used to have. One thing I understood, that when Adam and Eve were in the garden, Adam and Eve were able to eat of a fruit of good and eat of a fruit of a tree of evil. But when they messed up and the woman told Adam, Adam, we should eat of this tree, Adam gave in and ate of the tree. And the Bible said that when Jesus came back in the garden to get his glory, they were gone because he didn't know where they were. They had left where they used to be. What I want you to understand, I want to try to relate death and blindness together. Let me tell you that when most people die, their eyes are closed, and when they wheel them in front of the church, their eyes still are closed. They can't see what you're doing. They can't see what's going on. All they know, all we know, is that they're in a better place. And so what happened is, when Adam and Eve ate the fruit in the garden, my God, the serpent said, you shouldn't surely die. But he knew that their eyes would be open to bad instead of good. And so when they ate of the fruit off the tree, they gained sight into seeing what sin was. But they lost sight of what God had for them. And sometimes you'll find yourself in a garden and you'll eat up the wrong tree, and you'll find yourself blind to God, but you'll be able to see sin, and so you'll get frustrated and don't understand why doors are not opening. You'll get frustrated and don't understand how everybody around you are getting blessed. But if you open up your eyes and understand that I can't see like God no more, you will run down to the front and say, what do I do to allow these scales to be removed off my eyes? I'm tired of being a dead man walking. I'm tired of being a blind man not being able to see my left from my right. Tired of not being able to see what God has in store for me. I'm tired of not being able to see where God is trying to take me. I'm tired of not being able to see what God is doing for me. And so what you got to understand is that when God gives you your sight back today, God gonna give you your sight back. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, He's going to give me my sight back. God is not only going to give you your sight back, but He's going to take you to another location. And so today, before you get your sight, God has to then transfer you to another location, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, because right now you're still hooked up on yesterday. Right now you're still hooked up on last week. Right Right now you still hooked up on friends, but God want to take you and lead your mind to a place where it's just you and him. And so I'm glad today that God is getting ready to deliver me and set me free. Somebody look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I might not be able to see what the Lord is doing for me, but I know the Lord is blessing me right now. I want everybody to stand to